From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman, but with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Happy Wednesday morning to you. You know, the storm system has finally arrived. Most of us seen the rain this morning. Although the eastern mountains, you're still going to have to wait a few more hours. Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger of Weather NorCal. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Kruger's Quickcast. Before we get into it, of course, the whole point of Kruger's Quickcast is for those of you that are in a hurry and you just want to know what to expect here in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be doing that here for you in a second, but first, a little teaser for the deeper dive forecast where we go into much more detail with the forecast. So through this weekend, here's what I'm tracking. Flooding potential along with the potential for mudslides and debris flows. Snow levels starting off low. We saw that yesterday. We saw it last night. We'll see it again here this morning, but they will rise throughout the day today and in particular as we go into tomorrow. And then gusty winds, potential for power outages. You know, we got to watch for that as well. And these winds will probably stick around for the next several days. All right, let's get you out the door this morning. It's wet pretty much anywhere you go, 8 o'clock this morning, even the eastern mountains, although early this morning, it's dry there, but that will change here as we go into the morning hours. These are chain requirements this morning. Keep in mind, this is as I'm recording this. These change rapidly. I just want to show you what we've seen, the progression of that snow. We didn't see a lot of chain requirements for the 6 o'clock in the evening forecast, but then overnight, look what happened. They're screening all big rigs to make sure they got chains. Otherwise, there are chain requirements north of that. We've got east of I-5, plenty of chain requirements. But notice not much over here because we haven't seen much snow there yet. It's not really snowing there early this morning. But to the west of I-5, on Highway 299, Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, Highway 36, there are chain requirements there as well. This will continue this morning, folks, and most likely even into the afternoon hours. So you need to keep a close eye on those road conditions. I'm going to take you back here just so you can see here. quickmap.dot.ca.gov. That's where you need to go for the latest in those chain requirements. Look at that big area of low pressure. You may have heard the term bomb cyclone. Yes, it's a big area, impressive area of low pressure. And there you can see the colder air getting wrapped up in that. And then, of course, we've got this, another term that you're hearing a lot about is the atmospheric river, Pineapple Express, whatever you want to call it, giving us that hose aimed right at Northern California, giving us that rainfall. We're seeing it now. We're seeing the snow in the higher elevations. And as we take it through the day today, look what happens. Not much changes there. Just rain all day long. Now, it's going to be steady throughout the day for many of us. Some periods of the day a little bit heavier, then of course it drops off in intensity, then back up again. Snow levels are starting off low. I've got them at 2,500, 3,500 feet. I think they may climb a little bit here later this afternoon and especially tonight and into tomorrow. There's a look at those winds. Yeah, they're strong. Now, they were a lot stronger yesterday and even last night for the coast. They're not going to be as strong today. That's why the high wind warning has been allowed to expire there. But we still have that wind advisory here for 10 o'clock tonight in the valley. And that high wind warning for parts of Siskiyou and into Modoc County as well because of those gusty winds that we'll see out there today. So just be aware of that. I mean, we're talking gusts 20, 30, even upwards of 40 miles per hour. So there you can see for today, temperatures upper 40s to about low 50s for the valley. 30s, maybe some 40s in there for some of those higher elevations, and we've got those mid 50s for your daytime highs today. Everyone getting wet in some shape or form, whether it's rain or that snow. There, of course, looking at those temperatures on the cool side, too. I mean, that colder air has really kind of come on in, and that's the reason why we're seeing some of those lower snow levels in some areas as well. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook, and there you can see a chance for rain pretty much each and every single day. And look at this, on Friday, we could see some thunderstorms for parts of the valley as we go into Friday. Maybe enough instability there, but otherwise the rest of us seeing off and on chance for showers. Windy too for the coast here for today, just not as windy as it was yesterday. And it looks like we're going to be looking at just off and on chances for showers over the next 7 days. Siskiyou, Modoc, and the eastern mountains. See how the snow levels are going up, then back down again, maybe back down again more, then maybe back up. But bottom line, we've got chances for rain and snow for the next 7 days. However, forecast models, and we're going to talk about this in a bit more detail, forecast models are going back and forth. Some, in fact, they're total opposites. For example, the American forecast model, dry through a good portion of next week. European forecast model, not so dry. Should be interesting. Of course, it is an important week next week, right? Because Thanksgiving week. All right, so as the storm pushes through, there's going to be storm damage. There's going to be snow. There's going to be wind damage. There's going to be flooding concerns and flooding issues. Share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app. And you might be asking, well, how do I do that from the app? Well, first of all, I've got an app, right? You got to make sure you got that first. If you have an iPhone, go to your app store. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store and search for Weather NorCal. Simple enough. Download it for free. It's 100% free. You don't have to ever worry about being charged for anything. And you can upload your pictures from there. Check it out. All right, here's a look at your weather headlines. Let's go into this now. Periods of heavy rain, and steady rain at times for today and tomorrow. And then it turns over to scattered showers after that. Potential for flooding, mudslides, debris flows, snow levels climbing tonight into tomorrow with less travel issues in the form of chain requirements, but we've also got to watch, especially in some of those mountain highways, the potential for mudslides and debris flows, unfortunately. Now, those gusty winds giving us a potential for some power outages today and tomorrow, and even quite possibly into Friday. There's that cold front pushing on through. That's one of the sources for those gusty winds that we are seeing. Clearly see that rotation around that area of low pressure as this all shifts off to the east here. So, again, you saw earlier how we're just not seeing much change here through the day today. That steady rain, heavier at times throughout the day. That snow pretty heavy. Still looking at some issues on I-5. But again, 2,500, 3,500 feet this morning. By later this afternoon, evening, I'm bumping it up to 3,500 to 4,500 feet because we are seeing the snow levels begin to slowly climb. And look at this. By tomorrow morning, we're not seeing as much blue on the map here. That's because snow levels are climbing even more, 5,000 to 6,000 feet. And notice too, we're seeing some breaks here. So we still got the steady rain for some of us tomorrow morning, a few breaks here and there. And then look at this, there's a cutoff by around noon. You got dry conditions for Del Norte, Humboldt County, even western Siskiyou County. A little bit of a break here for parts of Central Valley, and of course off to the east here you got those showers too. But we still have that atmospheric river, that hose, if you will, aimed right at Northern California. It fills back in. We're going to see kind of what we call retrograde, or move back up to the north and west as we go into your Thursday afternoon. Everyone getting in on that rain. And notice, not much in the way of blue. The blue there, that's the mountain, Mount Shasta. Right here, that's Lassen Volcanic National Park. All right, so that's the highest elevations. Some of those highest elevations in the Marble Mountains in Trinity Alps, seeing a little bit of snow. But you have to go above 7,000 feet, most likely even 8,000 feet before you start seeing that snow. Otherwise, heavy rainfall for the rest of us. Now take a look at Friday. Here's Friday morning. You see the heaviest rainfall is off to the east. That atmospheric river is beginning to shift to the south and east, and as a result, we're not getting that steady flow of moisture, but we still have moisture in place, and we still have cool and unstable air in place. And that's going to mean throughout the day on Friday, scattered showers and maybe some thunderstorms in the forecast as well. Now, snow levels still fairly high, around 7,000 to 8,000 feet, but they'll probably drop again going into your Saturday. Check this out for today. You can see there is the flash flood risk. You can see right here. All right, now let's take you into tomorrow. It starts to extend eastward. Now we take you into Friday. Still that flash flood risk, despite the fact that we are seeing it turn more over to scattered showers. Now, as a result, there is a flood watch through Saturday morning for the Valley, southern Trinity County, western Siskiyou, Del Norte, Humboldt County, and of course southward as well. Mudslides, debris flows are a concern. Rising creeks, streams, and rivers, and some of that localized flooding. A lot of the flood-prone areas are most likely going to see some flooding here. Forecast rainfall totals. Look at that. Again, it's overdoing it. Yesterday evening, Chico was closer to like, 6.5, close to 7 inches. Now it's back up to 9.5. I think that's overdoing it. I think these are more realistic numbers that you're seeing here. Upwards of around 7, maybe 7.5 inches. And that's the case for Chico as well. But again, I think it's overdoing it. For the coast, not as much, because we're getting more breaks from this rain than other areas, and that's why the coast won't see as much. Winter storm warning for the areas in pink here until 10 o'clock tonight. That's for snow levels between 2,500 3,500 feet. There is a winter weather advisory off to the east here until 4 p.m. today, and that's for 3,000 to 4,000 foot snow levels. Taking a look at this forecast snow totals. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. Remember, the last several days, the forecast model has been indicating for Mount Shasta City 30 to 40 inches of snow, it's backed off. I still think it's overdoing it here, but could we see upwards of a foot, foot and a half? Hey, that's not out of the question. I think we'll be closer to that lower end as we go into Wednesday throughout the day today. Now, as the snow levels rise, we're not going to see any more snow at Mount Shasta City. So as a result, it stays there, but then it's going to be rain on top of snow. There, of course, you can see a little bit more. Chester, that might be overdoing it at 2 feet, but you get the idea. You're going to see some accumulating snow there. All right, take a look at this. So what's exciting is that the ski park, you're going to get dumped on today. The ski park will see a lot of snow, but the problem is once those snow levels rise, there's going to be rain on top of that fresh snow. And that, of course, is no fun because all that snow is going to melt. A lot of that snow is going to melt. Take a look at this too. That's what's also no fun is the fact that when you see all of that fresh snow and it's piling up, and then suddenly you get rain on top of that snow, that can really help to induce some avalanches in the area. So, avalanche warning until noon Thursday. So for those of you that are outdoor enthusiasts, backcountry in particular, it's probably not a good idea to be out there because there is going to be some some avalanche-prone areas. All right, again, taking a look at the chain requirements this morning. Keep in mind, I need you to always check. And really, the easiest way is to go to weathernorcal.com, click on the road conditions section, and you'll get an easy, quick look at some of the more popular Caltrans cameras and a quick link to Quick Map. All right, so there you can see. There's the Ferndale exit just north of Reading, 10 miles north of Reading. They're screening all big rigs to make sure you got chain requirements on I-5 near Mount Shasta City, 89, east of I-5, west of I-5. You're seeing it even on Highway 299 around Buckhorn Summit. But again, if you're watching this several hours after I record it, it may look a lot different. We'll see. There's Ferndale exit. You can see the big rigs that are backed up. Not so much anymore. It looks like I think they know, and they're probably stopping even before that. But look at this. Dunsmuir. 2,400 feet, folks. You got that snow accumulating there. I-5. This is around Mount Shasta. There's Snowman Summit. It is a mess out there. It is snowing. It's coming down, and it will continue to come down through the morning. Look at this is below Buckhorn Summit, by the way, 2,600 feet. The summit is up that way. So, yeah, I mean, even at 2,500 feet, there you can see Oregon Mountain. Can't really see much there. Can't see much at Berry Summit, but it doesn't look like we're seeing much out at Berry Summit at this point. Let's take a look at some other cameras out there. Hatchet Mountain. Now, earlier when I was looking at this was all blowing sideways, so those winds are certainly gusty. That's Hatchet Mountain at 4,300 feet. 299, 89, you can see it looks just a little slushy there, but Cedar Pass, no new snow, but still looks a little icy out there. There's a look at Shingletown. Shingletown is now starting to see some of that snow at 3,500 feet. There you can see Lassen Park, 5,700 feet, close to 6,000 feet there. Unfortunately, Bogard Ranger Station camera is down. So let's take a look at the forecast road conditions for the rest of the day today into tomorrow morning. Now, when you see these colors here, that's essentially snow. All right, so that's what we're looking at here. So there's the snow. We're still seeing that I-5 at noon today. Let's take it to 6 p.m. Noon today, still looking at the potential for snow on I-5. Highway 299, still that potential for a little bit of snow there as well. Now the snow levels start to climb a little bit here, so we're seeing less in the way of that snow. Maybe some patchy areas, but by the time we get into Thursday afternoon, those snow levels will really start to climb. We're talking 5,000, 6,000 feet. There's the wind advisory for the valley here until 10 o'clock tonight. High wind warning until 4 p.m. today with gusts 50, even 60 miles per hour. So the winds, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time and stop it here and there because it's just going to vary depending on where you are. Bottom line is this. Gusty winds at times for many of us, we're talking 20, 30, even upwards of 40 miles per hour. As we take you through Friday, the winds do start to die down. You'll see overall they're not going to be quite as strong, but we're still calling for gusty winds to start the day on Friday. And then by Saturday, hopefully there shouldn't be much of an issue anymore. So there's that atmospheric river, Pineapple Express, the hose that's aimed right at Northern California, whatever you want to call it. It's aimed at Northern California, and it's giving you the rainfall here, heavy rainfall, and of course that snow in the mountains. Let's take you to Thursday. Doesn't change much, but we've got another disturbance here, tapping more into that moisture here for Thursday. There it goes. We go into Friday. Friday, that's shifting to the south, and now we've just got regular storms, cold and unstable air, these disturbances rotating around the area of low pressure, moving into Northern California. Just a classic setup where we see these systems pass on through for Saturday, Sunday. Now, this model is giving us a few showers on Monday, then again on Tuesday, And then as we go into Wednesday, see what happens, it's still giving us a chance for showers. So some of the latest forecast model data is now indicating that even through Wednesday of next week, we're talking about the potential for rain. All right, so what's going on? Why are we getting so much rain over the next couple of days? Well, this is something I've been pointing out and talking about over the last few days, but you can clearly see right here, what we're seeing, the yellows, oranges, and reds, that's very moist air. That's aimed right at Northern California. It's typically warm, moist air is what we're looking at here, all right? So that's known as an atmospheric river. Call it what you will, Pineapple Express, but in this case, it really couldn't be a Pineapple Express. There's Hawaii. Typically, the flow is coming from Hawaii, all right? So this is why we use the term atmospheric river, because there's more moisture coming in behind that it's really tapping into. And then another little stream right here coming in from the south. So they're working together to give us all that moisture and that steady rainfall for many of us. As we go into Thursday, this dives down to the, see how it's diving down to the south? We're seeing kind of this trough dig to the south, but then this continues to point northward into Northern California for Thursday. So that steady rainfall and snow continues. Then you can see how it begins to shift to the south by Friday. No longer under the influence of an atmospheric river, but as you saw in Futurecast, we're continuing to see these disturbances push through, giving us more scattered showers here for Friday through the weekend. Now, we talk about atmospheric rivers. Here's the impact scale. There's an actual impact scale with atmospheric rivers, from 1 being primarily beneficial rainfall, not an issue, to 5, which can be hazardous. We're going to be somewhere in the AR2 to AR3 category here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There are 2 areas that we look at, the coast, and here's the coast. For Wednesday, you see how it drops going into Wednesday. Remember how you saw it was kind of dropping with that rainfall Wednesday? It's picking up on that, and then it kind of ramps back up Thursday, and then Thursday evening, and then back down, no longer in the atmospheric rivers after Friday afternoon into Saturday. Then we take a look at the foothills east of the valley, and you can kind of see some of those same spikes. They drop. But overall, keeping with an AR1 to AR2, there's that little spike there for Thursday afternoon into early Friday morning, and then it really drops because no longer under the influence of an atmospheric river. So that's just kind of a brief description of an atmospheric river and the overall intensity of that atmospheric river. So it's not in the extreme, but that doesn't mean it's not going to have impacts, because it will. As I mentioned, the flooding, mudslides, debris flows, gusty winds are creating some problems as well. So we take a look at the forecast rainfall totals in the long range. Now, here's what's interesting. The short range forecast model is showing over 9 inches for Chico just through Friday. But the long range is showing more for Redding. But bottom line, even through next Tuesday, we're talking 7 days of rainfall accumulation. We could be looking at anywhere from 7, 8, 9 inches of rain for the valley, a little bit less than that for the coast. Here's another perspective, another forecast model, a little less, but you can still see some very impressive amounts of rainfall any way you look at it. Here's your wave heights for today. They are high today, but it looks like as we go into your Thursday, we should start to see those wave heights begin to drop. So your marine forecast, south winds 15 to 20 knots. There's your waves. There's your high and your low tide. Hazardous seas warning for today. That's just for those gusty winds and high waves. All right, let's take a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Each and every single day there's a chance for rain. Snow levels just kind of going up and down, really, is what we're seeing here. Now, for the coast, I think we'll start off dry on Thursday, but then by Thursday afternoon, that atmospheric river comes right back. It retrogrades. Remember I was talking about it retrogrades. It kind of fills back in. We're seeing that rain. Off and on showers continue for Friday through the weekend, even into early next week. 51 for Klamath, 52 degrees for a high today in Orleans, and it looks like Willow Creek about 49 degrees. We take it out to Siskiyou County with 47 for Wairika, Etna about 45, and McLeod about 38 degrees. And for your Modoc County neighborhood forecast, 44 degrees for Tule Lake, 43 degrees in Aden and Cedarville, about 46 degrees. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, how about Bernie? 40 degrees for Chester. Now, there you can see Susanville about 4,500 feet with those snow levels back up to 6,000 feet by Thursday and Friday. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Those temperatures will be in the upper 40s to low 50s. Windy, windy, windy all the way through Friday. Maybe a chance for some thunderstorms on Friday as well. 45 degrees for Whiskeytown, 42 degrees for Lakehead, 48 for Anderson, and Red Bluff about 50 degrees. And looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, Yeah, those windy conditions here for today, tomorrow, and Friday. Maybe some thunderstorms Friday afternoon, otherwise scattered showers. Scattered showers through the weekend, and it looks like we're going to be looking at continued chances for rain for Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon at noon. And then, of course, after that at 6 p.m. Have yourselves a great morning.